This week in Grace's Girls Club, I have a pretty incredible guest with me. I'm joined by Miranda Oden, and she works for the United States Army. Miranda, tell us your title.
Yes, I currently serve as the Deputy Program Executive Officer for PEO Missiles in Space at Redstone Arsenal.
Very cool. So walk me through exactly what that means. If I'm a stranger on the street and I hear your title, what exactly does that mean you do every day?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in the job that I get to do in that I get to support our soldiers on a day-to-day basis in execution of their mission. And I get to lead an incredible organization of over 2,000 people across our portfolio. So it's just an incredible opportunity to not only give back to our United States military, but also work with a great group of individuals who give their time to make sure our soldiers have what they need to do their mission set.
Absolutely. And you know what? For as much as we respect our soldiers and what they do for us to keep us safe and to keep our way of life and freedom, we also respect you all for giving them the tools that they need.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it takes a village to do what we do. So we have a great military group that we support. We have a great civilian and a great industry partnership to make sure that we can provide what we need to do to support the warfighter and give he or she what they need to execute their mission.
Absolutely. Miranda, can you give me any examples? I know we can't get too specific, but are there any examples of projects you've worked on or missions that you've had that have, in fact, helped the warfighter directly?
So PO Missiles in Space is responsible for our missile portfolio, as you can tell in its name, and you will see on the news several missile systems that gets mentioned routinely on all the activities going on across the world. So I would say if you watch the news on a day-to-day basis, you've seen some of those portfolios that we have the fortune to work on daily.
Well, lucky for us, I do, in fact, watch the news every day. At work. So, Miranda, of the letters in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, which letter or sequence of those letters would you say most applies to your job?
So when I first started my career, the engineering applied most to my job, and then the science and technology began to take over a little bit. So my degree is in industrial engineering from Auburn University, and I primarily chose that field because I love to make things work more efficiently and effectively from a process perspective, and that can be applied in executing a program, and it also can be applied in leading an organization because you want your organization and your processes to be the best that they can be to make sure that you can get your mission done on time. So I think it changes throughout your career on where your primary focus is based on where you're at in that portion of your career.
I think that's a great point. I think that's a really great point. And you know, that's one of the themes that's come up in so many of these Grace's Girls Club interviews is where you started isn't necessarily where you are today. So that's a pretty cool thing that you just touched on. So speaking of, I know you got your degree from Auburn. Talk to me a little bit more about your schooling. Do you have a postdoctorate degree? Do you have any certifications that you have? Any extra schooling that you did to get to where you are today?
Yeah, so I have my bachelor's degree in industrial engineering from Auburn, as I stated. But as I progressed in my career, I saw the importance of getting that business aspect. So I got a management degree from Florida Institute of Technology to give me a balance between the technical as well as the business. Because again, as you progress in your career and wherever your career trajectory takes you, that helps you to find kind of the pursuits that you want to further your education in, as well as certifications you might want to tackle. So one of the certifications that I also have to do my job is program management because that is a big part of what we do across the PEO Missiles and Space portfolio, making sure that we can execute those program management jobs efficiently and get the tools and techniques and everything out to the soldiers that they need to do their job.
Absolutely. That's pretty incredible. You're a very educated woman. So, Miranda, tell me why you chose this field. What was encouraging to you? What was inspiring when you first chose it? And why do you stay today?
Yeah. So I never thought I would be an engineer, honestly, even though I truly enjoyed the math and science aspect as I was going through high school. But as I continued to kind of grow in that area and take harder level math classes and things of that nature, I realized that I really love that more so than any other fields that I had the opportunity to participate in. And the process piece was really important. I love process and trying to figure out ways to think make things a lot more efficient, as I previously stated. And I think that's important as you learn about yourself. You can't have the same goal when you're 10 and when you're 20 and when you're 30, because your likes and wants, they kind of change. And I think you have to be flexible and change with them, because it'll make you a more well-rounded individual to serve in leadership roles, serve in technical roles, serve in whatever job you're serving in, and you're going to be the best employee you can at that point in time if you're happy doing the job you do.
That is such a great point. And that's so common in all of these interviews that we're doing, is people's dreams change, and your ability to adapt and to work incredibly hard at that adaptation is really what sets you apart.
Absolutely. And I would say, if you would have asked me, 10 years ago, would I be sitting where I'm sitting? I would have probably said no, I would not. But I am able to be flexible enough that wherever God leads me, that's where I'm supposed to be. And that's what I try to do, is just, continue to follow his footsteps, pursue what he wants me to pursue, because I know that he's put him in that place for a reason. And I need to do the best I can while I'm in that situation.
I absolutely 100% could not agree more. I love that. I completely agree. So walk me through the best part of your job.
The people, 100% the people, and the mission that we're doing, and the impact that I get to see on a day-to-day basis that we're having across the world. There is no better motivator to want to come into this organization other than those three things I just listed.
Absolutely. That is so key. So if those are some of the best parts, walk me through some of the challenges. What are some of the red ticket items that hit your desk every day that you have to problem solve to work around?
Yeah, I typically shy away from the word challenges, because I look at any challenge or problem as an opportunity to make it better. I will just say, probably the biggest opportunity that we have on a day-to-day basis is just time. There's only so many hours in the day. There's so much time that you get to deal with, and you have to ensure that you can prioritize and get the things done that have to get done. So I view challenges as opportunities to be the best that I can be, and bring the best I can to the table every single day, and influence the team to do that as well, so that we get our mission done and we also have a little fun doing it.
Absolutely. Miranda, just in talking to you right now, you don't know this about me, but my favorite part of every movie ever is the workout montage. And in talking to you and all of this, I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go to the gym. Let's work harder. Let's do things. Your career inspiration really is great, even just in this interview.
Yeah. Well, I greatly appreciate the time, and I can't encourage the younger generation any more than I can outside of my words to say, do what you want to do in your career. The STEM field is incredible. It's an incredible opportunity to be a part of. There's so many things that you don't think about when you're a young person from a STEM perspective, because all you see is the math and science. But if you think of like an airplane, or you think of like Apple, there's math and scientists, but there's also software coders. There's also cyber folks. So the sky is the limit in the STEM field. You just need to find your niche of what you enjoy doing, and you will enjoy going to work every single day.
And that is so key. I absolutely love that. And you answered my next question. My next question was, what is your message to young girls who want to join STEM? And I don't know a better answer than the one you just gave.
Yeah, and I would tell you, sometimes the younger, especially the female generation, they're very turned off by the STEM because they see all of the guys that go into it. But as I started my career over 25 years ago, I would say that I have seen so much growth from a female perspective in the STEM field. And there are so many great mentors out there from a STEM perspective, from a female perspective, that you can tap into. So don't let that be a distractor for you. If that is something you're extremely interested in doing, pursue your passion, because that's what's going to make you happy throughout life. So pursue your passion.
So Miranda, that actually just brought up one more question for me. One of the things that we talk about often is how women possess certain soft skills that are unique to us, and how if you use them at your advantage, that really sets you apart in your career. Well, your work with the Army, I imagine, is not a very fuddy-duddy career, rainbows and flowers all the time. How do you balance the soft skills that come with being a woman in STEM, and doing your job, and working for a company where it's very serious and the work you're doing has to be precise and has to matter all the time? How do you balance all three of those things together for success?
Yeah, I would say skill balance again is something that you have to learn, and that's one of the things that I try to impart on some of the younger females that I mentor is that you can't worry about just growing your technical skills. You have to continually grow those soft skills as well, and you have to have that adaptability to go into any situation and know which skill you need to pull from. So it's a continuous learning process. I tell people all the time that if you ever stop growing, you need to go find something else to do.
Mm.
And that's not only from a technical perspective, but also from that soft skills perspective, because communication, working relationships, prioritization of time become just as important as your technical depth as you progress throughout your career. So you have to have that perfect balance. There's never going to be a perfect balance, and I shouldn't have said perfect balance. There's never going to be a perfect balance. You just have to know how to adapt to the situation that you're in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I know how busy you are, so I wanna let you get back to that, get back to protecting our soldiers and protecting us. But Miranda Oden, United States Army Missiles and Space, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.